Hey, you wonderful people out there. Welcome to the Business Report Show. My name is Chris. I wanted to put this video together to provide some updates after, I would say, a bit of a bloodbath on the market. A lot of red today on the market. But more importantly, what I'm doing with the Wealthsimple Small Cap Challenge and what I'm also doing on my overall portfolio to adjust and look at some buying opportunities on this big dip. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you click the button below. Make sure you hit that like button. Every little bit helps. And as a disclaimer, I'm not a financial planner or an investment advisor, so everything I say here is just my opinion and for education purposes only. Always seek a professional before investing. Okay, so lots to talk about today because of the massive drop in the markets today. Although specifically for the growth stocks that have been growing since the global pandemic started. So companies like Tesla and some of the other tech companies like Datadog, CrowdStrike, you name it, those value stocks all took a hit today. And there's a lot of speculative reasons on why this is happening, and one that you'll hear the narrative from the mainstream media is that there's been a bit of reallocation of funds from some institutions from these high growth plays over to the rebound stocks. So you take a look at stocks like Carnival, Expedia, some of the theater stocks. They're all making a bit of a comeback over the last week, and I think you're seeing more of that repositioning. Now, as these institutions get out of some of these stocks, as some of the retail investors take profit from some of the big gains they've made, I think you also see some panic selling from investors who may have got in a little late and they don't really have a high conviction of a long-term outlook for these stocks. So I think you saw a bit of panic selling as well. Now, what may happen for tomorrow could be what is termed in an industry as a dead cat bounce. I think we may see a bit of bounce tomorrow as some of the value investors get back in and they like buying at the dip. And then you're going to see maybe a little bit more selling as some uncertainty from some investors will continue that trend. So at the end, I think it's important that you stick to your guns on what you believe in for your investment. So for some of the stocks, is it a good time to take profit? Absolutely. I think what you also should understand is that investing is the long game. It is very, very hard to time the market. So as long as your long-term outlook is long for these plays, then you just got to hang tight and you got to ride some of these waves. Now, that being said, I am making some adjustments right now. I sold off about half my holdings in Tesla. I've had a really good run with Tesla. I bought Tesla back in 2015 and I've gone through the ups and downs. I've gone through the stock splits and I've just made a lot of money off of Tesla. And while I have a long-term hold on it, I feel that there's going to be a lot of good buying opportunities, and my portfolio on that side of the high growth stock was really overweighted for Tesla. So I thought today would be a good idea to take some profit, take some money and put it aside so I have that cash available to see what other dips are going to happen in the next month or two and be able to get in on some of those stocks. And that's what I've done on the growth portion of my portfolio today. I sold about half of my Tesla holdings there. Now, some updates for our Wealthsimple Small Cap Stock Challenge. A couple days ago, I bought the HPQ Silicon. Again, if you didn't watch that video, make sure to check out video number 2. But HPQ took a big hit today. We got in at about $1.35. It went as low as 98 cents today. I actually managed to buy a little bit more on the dip. I don't want to get too overweight on HPQ. As I mentioned in video 2, it is a highly risky stock. They are still not generating any revenue, and it is purely trading on news. Now, I think the next good news story that comes out for HPQ will give that stock a bit of a push. So we picked up 100 shares a couple days ago on the dip. I really didn't put in that much more money. I just bought 10 more shares just because I just felt it was a good time to buy a little bit on the dip. So again, if you haven't watched the first few videos, please go back and check them out as we talk about this is just a very small portion of our portfolio. The idea is if the market tanks in the small cap arena, we're not out any grocery or rent money. So the first one that we did buy on our list is High Tide Cannabis, HITI. They were a bit flat today. We're still up from buying it last week at about 76 cents a share. I still look at High Tide as a long-term play just because of the retail cannabis market having a bit of a rebound since the global pandemic started, and also with the US federal government looking to decriminalize and legalize marijuana. I think they are well positioned to take advantage of that market opening up. So I want to talk about the third stock I added into the portfolio. It's a company by the name of Hamilton Thorne. I bought 100 shares of Hamilton Thorne at $1.70 a share. It jumped up to about $1.75 today, but then pulled back to our purchase price of $1.70. So Hamilton Thorne is in the assistive reproductive service industry. So these are your fertility clinics and the IVF treatments for couples who are having difficulty conceiving and starting a family. I like this industry because statistically speaking, in North America, there are more and more couples going to fertility clinics and using the clinics to conceive. And so I see a long-term positive growth trend for Hamilton Thorne, as not only are they involved in the industry, but they produce products that service that industry. The equipment and some products they call consumables. So some of the packaging for the needles and the pipette tips, that all comes from Hamilton Thorne. Some of the servicing and technology side of running a fertility clinic also comes from them. I just see a lot of positive growth opportunity there. The financials are really good too. Their revenues have continued to grow since the onset of the global pandemic. So as clinics open back up, restrictions from the global pandemic are lifted. I just see their business continuing to grow. Hamilton Thorne, ticker symbol HTL. Put that on your radar. There'll probably be a little bit of pullback from investors who got in early, so make sure you keep that stock on your radar. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is adding cryptocurrency to my portfolio. Now, I already discussed in my previous video how I'm using Wealthsimple Trade to add both Bitcoin and Ethereum. I bought into Bitcoin and Ethereum about a month ago. We just put in $400 and that jumped up to $600 last week. Now there was a big pullback this week. I think we're at about $475. But for me, it's just adding a long-term hold on cryptocurrency as another asset class to invest in. Now, one thing Wealthsimple doesn't have is access to other cryptocurrencies. They just have the two. And so I've been struggling. I've tried some of the US platforms before, and it just was really difficult to get some of my money in. And so I've been looking for a Canadian solution. And one that I've landed on is called ndax. So ndax, ndax.io. And I just signed up for it. I have to say it was super easy. I've never gone through a crypto platform that easy before. In fact, from the time I signed up to going through the proper verification forms they had, to Interact e-transfer money from my main bank account into ndax was about a 25-minute period. I'll put a link below. There's some rewards if you use that link to sign up for ndax to trade your crypto. There are some fees to ndax though, so it's not a no fee, no commission trading platform. There are some fees, but they're not super high, so make sure you check out the fee table before signing up. So one thing I will say about ndax is that the mobile app is still not very well developed. You can make trades on the app, but the display of the pricing of the cryptocurrency is not to the thousandth decimal. So it's pretty hard to get the accurate pricing that you'd like to get in on the price. So you will notice the ratings for the ndax app on the mobile sites are not really great. So there's still lots of improvement on that end, but overall, I do quite like the platform on the desktop version. So what I did yesterday was, after I signed it up, I got into some of the coins that I couldn't get into with the Wealthsimple platform. Again, this is still considered my small cap portion of my portfolio, so I'm not investing tons of money into it, but I did put $100 into my account, and I spread it over 3 cryptocurrencies: ADA, Dogecoin, and XRP. So those are all ones that I've been tracking. I like the prospects of ADA. ADA has grown a lot. A lot of people are saying ADA is the next Ethereum because it's a blockchain platform that other cryptocurrencies or things like NFTs for art, digital artwork can build off of, like they are using on Ethereum. Dogecoin is similar. Who knows where that's going, but with Elon Musk hashtagging about it and some other companies talking about using Dogecoin, I think there's just some long-term opportunities there. So ndax, put the link below. Make sure you check it out. So far so good, and using the platform is very intuitive. And so I'll probably make another more in-depth video on ndax as I use it a little bit more, just to give you guys some updates on how it's going. So that's it, guys, for today's video. I just want to provide an update for the Wealthsimple Small Cap Challenge and make sure to let you know I've added Hamilton Thorne into it. I also wanted to let you guys know about some of the adjustments I'm making to my portfolio based on what I'm seeing in the marketplace. And remember to check out my asset allocation and diversification video. I think it's really important that you get that concept because it'll really help you out in the long term as you're building out your portfolio. And don't forget to drop your comments below. How did you do today? And what are some stocks you're putting on your radar to potentially buy on the dip in the next few days? As always, guys, remember, always be learning, always be investing. I'll catch you in the next video.